And go.
Hi, and welcome to Tuesday Tilt Talks. Okay, excited for today. We have some fun stuff to talk about.
A little bit of drama going on, maybe.
On social media?
On social media, maybe.
Yeah, love it.
You don't, but I do.
No, I don't. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about today. What we're recognizing is that there's maybe a lack of clarity on what we're up to. And when I say what we're up to, why is Tilt?
Why all of a sudden is Tilt showing up all over the place?
Why Tilt Talk Tuesdays?
Tuesday Tilt Talks.
Why Tuesday Tilt Talks?
You think after 4 weeks or whatever it's been, we came up with a darn slogan?
Because once it's wrong, then you always second guess.
Yeah, totally.
Anyways.
No, but really, I think the question is why. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my voice dialed in here. We got some new gear, obviously, as you can see. No, I know you can, but I don't want to be blasting into everyone else's radios and stereos. But
sure.
I think the question is why all of a sudden is Tilt popping up?
Right.
And we've been a longtime Rain member since 2003, and all of a sudden, Tilt's kind of all over the place. We have a marketing company out of Vancouver, and we're really pushing the envelope, if you will.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what we're up to and why. So we're gonna do this as a bit of an interview. I'm gonna interview.
It's funny, Krista. I asked Krista what the questions were before we started, and she's like, "Nope, I know it. I have it all figured out." So it's gonna put me on the spot a little bit.
I'm giving him a taste of his own medicine right now. But essentially, we already had this conversation because as people challenge us and question. It's good opportunity to have conversation. Okay, like what is the clarity? What absolutely is this about?
Yeah.
And for Jared and I, always trying to make sure we aligned with our purpose, and that's separate.
Well, our purpose hasn't changed.
No, but your purpose is different than my purpose.
Yeah, correct.
And
totally.
So, I'm always checking in with Jared to make sure, why are you doing this? So,
yeah,
Jared,
totally.
why are you doing this?
Well,
why Tilt?
Well, first of all, when we started out as Landlord Resource Center, LLR Canada, it was just kind of this mix mash of just stuff. Yeah. And along the way, we developed, our agent division and property management division, collections division, renova division. And then there's this this little thing creating called, Jared Hope Speaking. And that was through RAIN, the Real Estate Investment Network. I did a lot of stuff through RAIN. And over the course of the years, I just kind of, I honed my skill, and now there's just an opportunity in front of us to start giving back by filling certain gaps in the market and certain gaps of what I've seen in the market over the last 6, 7, 8 years, maybe all the way back to 2003.
What do you mean gaps in the market?
Well, I always go back to the analogy of, and I've been using this expression a lot on social media, saying I'm the plumber. And, I'm that guy that can change the tap, that can change the water tank. I'm the guy that can source the problem because I'm the guy in the trenches. And so there's a theory platform, and then there's the practical platform, U of A versus NATE, which is the common analogy I've been using online for, the last month or so.
Right.
And, U of A, I've never been to U of A, so I don't know anything about U of A. So it's just my view of it. And, I just found out I had a high school diploma a couple of years ago, and that's a joke in our house.
He's been to post-secondary education.
I don't know how I got in, but
he has 2 diplomas.
Yeah, I don't know how I got in because back in the, I don't recall ever giving my transcript
it's
for anything.
Called hockey player.
Yeah, hockey player. Yeah, totally. And that's probably true. But so there's a theory platform, there's a practical platform, and I just see a gap in the, what I specialize in is finding the deal. Writing offers, negotiating deals, managing the property, renovating the property. I know how to read signs and test the market and watch the market. I know how to see what's coming and forecast. But at the end of the day, what I've narrowed it down to, I don't really care too much about what the market conditions are like in Toronto or Vancouver. If I'm investing in Edmonton, there's certain components that make sense. So for me, a gap is, sometimes I see people get stuck on the how to do it and the theory behind it too much, that they actually get stuck in the mud and they don't actually pull the trigger. Now, in saying that, everyone moves at a different pace. And I'm not trying to move someone through the mud faster at all. I'm not trying to bombard them with different ways of doing things. And my personality is pretty strong to some people. to you. Sometimes we battle with it. But that's the gap. The gap is I want to get doing more. Like I've transacted 284 properties for a reason.
Right.
And I'm not a theory-based person. I'm the plumber.
But okay, so great.
Or maybe the electrician. Maybe that's a better word.
But why you? Why do you want to do this?
Oh, we don't have to.
Right.
We talk about this often is why are we doing it? And why do we want to go down this path and, repave it and go down this road when there's already, good organizations out there like the Key Spires and the Rains and, there's other organizations popping up. Really the big thing for me is over the years, I've watched many, many people make mistakes from buying the wrong property, buying the wrong area, expecting the wrong rents, using the wrong agents, renovating the wrong way, spending too much on renos. Like I've seen it all. We've also done a lot of those mistakes. I think with the amount of deals that I've done, I think I have a lot to give back to people to prevent them from making those mistakes. I look back when we started investing in 2003, as much as we were RAIN members, we never had the guidance to give us the, to watch out for the landmines. And that's not a knock on anybody. That's just, our arrogance and not listening. That's there's too much information coming at us at a time that we couldn't decipher through it all. Yeah. We didn't have enough experience to learn, so we weren't able to expedite the process. We had to go through the journey ourselves to make all the mistakes.
Well, and in that, what that brings to mind, what was the most beneficial piece of what happened out of RAIN for you? Then there was the one-on-one.
With what?
The coaching. With
Don.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Don was great. So in 2005, I called Don Campbell, and I worked Don pretty hard for a while to personally coach me. Mm-hmm. And Don was great. I met with Don every Wednesday at 11 o'clock for a year. That year I bought 60 some odd properties. Yeah. We bought 60 some odd properties. So, I learned a lot there in that one-on-one stuff. And to be honest, I didn't learn much in the room per se, because I don't learn that way.
Right.
I'm not the type of person that can sit into, a 4-hour workshop or a 2-hour seminar meeting and pick up a lot of stuff. I fade, I get distracted, my mind goes, I chase the squirrel, I don't learn that way. And there's people that go to U of A because that's how they learn. And then there's people that go to NAIT because that's how they learn. They need the hands-on practical experiences.
The technical.
Totally, the technical approach. And, so our model is what we're trying to create, and what I'm creating is a NAIT platform, a SAIT platform, a UBCO platform, not a U of A or UBC or U of C platform.
Right. Yeah. I get it.
No, I know. Well, obviously, I hope you get it. You're my wife.
Well, and something that people may not understand in Tilt. So the brand Tilt encompasses a lot of pieces, and the newest piece is more Jared's teaching. And
that's the new division that we're launching. Correct.
But if you look at how we've built our companies, it started off with real estate investing, and all the pieces since then haven't been. No, I'm going to say they haven't been strategic, because they've been organic. In that, did we ever want to become property managers?
No.
We weren't like,
we were forced to.
Oh, I can't wait to become a property management company. But it made sense because of the knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, people were asking.
It made sense because of the knowledge that we got, but it also made sense at the time in our lives, because in 2010 we were on the verge of bankruptcy, and we were on the verge of bankruptcy because of the previous 7 years of disasters that we were laying in front of us that we never knew about
with property management.
No, well, not only that, just our buying. Like we were buying properties that we just shouldn't have been buying. Right. And we were buying properties because we were placed into a room. Once again, nothing against the room that we were placed into. It's just how we were learning of the stuff that was being taught. We were placed into a room that did not give me the support that I needed to go off and prevent myself from making those mistakes. The way I want Tilt Property Group and our workshops to go in this membership system that we're creating is it's a small room, and we're going to have under 100 people, 75 to 100 people. We're going to be in a couple different cities. We're not going to specialize all across the country. We're not going to specialize all across North America. There's organizations that are trying to, they're global, or North America wide, if you will. They're in Florida, they're all over the country. Like I don't want to do that. I have no interest in that. I'm a plumber, period. I'm an electrician, period. I'm a framer, period. I'm a jack of all trades. That's it. Full stop. End of story.
Right.
when there's other organizations that are bigger, stronger. They're the cruise ships. We're just a canoe, a dinghy going down the water, taking on whoever wants, some help. That's it. And, so the one-on-one coaching was huge. And my biggest takeaway was people need those touches. They need that human interaction. And the only way to do that is in a smaller group. You just can't do it. And I know that because I've been doing it for 7 years on stage. You can only touch the surface. You can only skim the surface of the water. You can't go too deep, because when you're talking to a room of 300 or 500 or 700, like I've done, 20 people will get it. 20 people don't have any clue, or don't want to hear it. And then the rest are like, yeah, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't really know.
Right. So I don't think you fully answered the question of, well,
sorry.
No, there's more, but I asked a lot of questions, but what, so.
Hey, Lana, how are you? Lana, make sure you put a question, Lana.
Why this? Why now? I mean, it's not like we need to do it.
Well, I'm definitely not doing it for the money. And part of the plan that we have is actually the membership. As we start creating it, we're going to actually refunnel the money back. Like, we have a lot of property, and over the last, I'm looking at my mortgage statements. We're getting our mortgage statements now, and the buy down of our properties is unbelievable. Yeah. And, we've rounded that corner. We've rounded that 12-year hump where, we can actually start living off our real estate portfolio finally after 14 years of doing this. And when we got into it, we were under the impression that we could do it in 5 years. So what was your question?
The question is, and I'm going to be clear. This is a question I asked Jared because
why now?
We don't need to be doing this.
Yeah. Why now?
And so this is taking on something in our lives that doesn't.
Well, it's adding a massive stress into our lives because now we got to create all these systems. The answer to why now is I see a great opportunity in front of us in Alberta. Not even in Alberta, in Kelowna, not so much in Vancouver, Calgary. Obviously, that's in Alberta. Northern BC, I see some opportunity. I see better opportunity in a couple of years when the NDP and Green Party get out. I just don't see them being here for all that long. I sure hope they're not, anyways, because we live in Kelowna. But I see an opportunity right now in front of us that I actually saw this in 2005, which is why one of the reasons why we bought 64 properties. The other reason why we bought 64 properties that year is because I was just a cocky, arrogant person. I still am, just at a lower tone. Yeah. So why now? I think a lot of people are going to start looking to get into investments, in investing in real estate. And, I look back at the mistakes we made in 2005 and 6 and 7. And now is a good time to get in front of those people to say, hey, listen, let's go do this. Watch out for that landmine. Watch out for that around the corner. There's going to be a guy throwing a grenade at you. Watch out for this. Watch out for this. Yeah. Whereas I just don't see these other organizations being able to serve like that. I'm going to continue to endorse RAIN because there's a lot of theory that's taught there. I made some really good friends in Barry McGuire. Barry teaches agreement for sales, great program.
There's great people in RAIN.
No, there's a lot of great people in RAIN. And, even, Patrick and I are still partners in real estate, and him and I own 30 properties. And
Patrick
him
will
and us
forever be a big part
absolutely
of us.
Like the things that we learned from Patrick in our journey along the way has really created this step. And why now is because I truly feel that right now there's a lot of mistakes to be made if people don't get that hand holding, that technical approach. Right. All of our events are for free. Yeah. You want to talk about not making money? We're doing it for free right now. Yeah. I'm doing it for free for two reasons. One, we're obviously trying to create a following, but also two, we're trying to create the systems to figure out what people are looking for so we can start creating the model to implement it. Yeah. In May, the last Saturday of May, we're going to do a one-day event in Edmonton. We have, our next 2 workshops. We're coming up with a coaching program, a mastermind coaching program we're working on. And there's just a lot of gaps in the real estate investing world that people just aren't touching because they try to go too big. And, because they all have to go big in order to make money. They either have to sell a shit ton of memberships to make their $200 a month, or they have to sell a shit ton of coaching programs at $20,000, or they have to fill a room of 300-400 people at $400, $500, $600 for a weekend. Yeah. Because they have to make their living. We don't. Right. So we can keep our costs down because we're not trying to, make millions off this. Our real estate portfolio is where we do that. Yeah. We're just trying to give back. Yeah. after all these years of making mistakes and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on those mistakes, we just want to give back.
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because, again, back to everything we've done has been really organic. It's our property management company is really just sharing our system of doing property management. And so, yeah, it's a business.
Well, you remember when we did those myth busting? There's those things about myth busting. We did that video.
Where, Jared's a bully.
No, well, Jared's a bully. Yeah. And like, don't, we laugh about that because you know me obviously very well. And a lot of people will, come back, or they'll walk away saying, I'm too aggressive. I'm extremely opinionated.
Right.
And, I have my certain way of doing things for sure. And at no time do I think my way is the only way to do it.
Right.
However, I've made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I'm too quick at offering a solution to a problem because I think I already just know the answer. Right.
Right.
So
let's talk about that.
Oh no.
Do you think you know everything?
Yes. No. Totally. You know what? At the end of the day, I don't. I specialize in real estate, and I specialize in single family, smaller multifamilies. We own an apartment building. Do I like the apartment building? Absolutely not. We own a commercial bay. Do I like it? Yes, because we're the tenant. I don't know everything, but I know a lot.
Yeah.
And for the, in 283 transactions, after 283 transactions, I just learned something new.
Yeah.
Because we took on a property and the seller didn't move out. So I've transacted 283 properties up until this point. 282. On my 283rd, for the first time ever, the lady never moved out. And that
was some great conversations to be in the car.
Well, that was a stressful hour because I was I was mad, I was angry, I was calling my lawyer, I was calling her. So I'm constantly learning. The lessons I'm learning now, though, don't cost me money. Or I shouldn't say that. They don't cost me tens of thousands of dollars like they used to back in the day.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think what you mean is we can absorb them because
correct.
of the size of our portfolio. But
it's not only that, we react differently.
Yeah.
Like we're able to, okay, got it. I've seen something similar. I've seen this kind of before. Boom, 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 and away we go.
But in the beginning, I remember, some of the most stressful times was when we had a really small portfolio because every little thing was felt so deeply. Well,
and not only that, we were still growing.
Well,
so we were redeploying our money back into our portfolio.
Yeah.
Which, there was many months where we just couldn't afford to buy groceries.
Yeah. Worst feeling ever.
Can you imagine?
Can
you imagine? Like,
no,
we lived it.
Can I imagine?
Yeah.
I remember.
That's what I meant. Do you remember?
Oh, is my debit card going to work?
Yeah, totally. We did that for about 8 years.
But these are the kinds of things, we're at that stage of contribution now. And this is a business. But on the other side of it, we don't have to be doing this. And it certainly could pick a lot easier.
Well, listen, we could, and I'm not trying to sound cocky or arrogant, so I know there's people that will probably take it like this. We could go probably just lay on a beach.
Yeah.
And we could homeschool our kids. We could go travel the world. We can cash out for multi-millions of dollars. And I'm not saying any of this to be arrogant or, hey, look at me or look at us. But the truth is we're doing this because there's an opportunity to serve people to get to the position of whatever it is they want in their life.
Yeah.
Some people want to make $2,000 a year so they can go on a holiday.
Yeah.
Some people want to retire and replace their income that they're making of $5,000-$6,000 a month.
Yeah.
Some people want to achieve 100 properties in a year. Everyone has a different flight path.
Right.
We're in a position to say, sit there and say, okay, how much money do you got? What's your service to debt? Great. What's your credit? Got it.
Yeah.
Go buy this.
Yeah.
So I want to take people from point A to point Z faster versus them having to go A, B, C, D, E. Oh, I made a mistake all the way back to B.
Yeah.
D, E, F, G, H. Oh, I made a mistake all the way back to F.
Yeah.
So all I'm after is to say, listen, and that doesn't work for everybody.
No. And to be clear, I will say, knowing Jared and watching Jared, he's not out to make friends in this. And he really
Well, I often say, we'll be friends later. Let's just go make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Let's go live the life we want.
Right.
And we'll have beers on the beach in 10 years.
So sometimes, truthfully, sitting through conversations of Jared with other people can be stressful for me because I'm a bit of a pleaser. But
our cat's going to jump up on our camera.
Looking at the computer like, ooh. But he's a no bullshit. He's passionate about people knowing the truth. And so, and let's be clear, the truth in his opinion.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
But he knows that.
It's all from my filter.
Yeah.
It's all from my eyes. Totally.
So it doesn't mean it's always right.
Usually
but it's totally. But people don't always know you're kidding.
Totally
with
joking.
That stuff.
Mike Bromberg, I'm totally joking. I say that because Mike signed on.
I'm not worried about Mike. He can take it. Or
Leanne Safart. Leanne's just signed on. Hey, Leanne.
It might be Michelle.
Oh, it might be Michelle.
Oh, we have some hockey players in the house. Okay.
Yeah,
anyways.
Go Oilers, go.
Back on topic. Where were we? The point is,
I don't know. You're on some rant about how smart I am or something.
The cat.
Yeah.
The truth is, we feel really passionately that real estate is a great vehicle for a financial future.
I look at it this way. Yes, absolutely. Real estate, I'll go head to head with a guy on stocks all day long. I don't invest in stocks at all. We have a couple and we tend to lose money all the time on them. I'll go head to head because I'm so passionate about real estate, but I will not discredit a stock because I don't understand that game.
Right.
If someone came up to me and said, I want to buy 300 properties, I'd come back and say, awesome.
Yeah.
I can get you 280. I can get you to 284.
Yeah.
I cannot get you to 300 yet.
Well, we wouldn't,
because I can't do it.
Get to 300 holding.
Well, no.
Or 280 holding.
Absolutely.
We don't hold 280 properties.
We've just transacted 283, working on our 284th.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, I'm extremely passionate and I can help people. I feel that I can help people get to a certain level.
Yeah.
And I feel I can expedite their journey a lot quicker. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. But the journey that a person with 0 properties is about to go on, I could probably answer 90% of their questions. And that is not me blowing smoke up my ass because their questions that they're going to come across are very simple and basic. They're easy to answer. A person who gets to 10 and starts, or 8 or 5 or wherever that stage is where they start getting stuck with the banks, I can solve that too. And once again, it's not that I'm saying I know everything, but I know the path to put them on.
Right.
Versus them trying to figure it out, get stuck in the mud, trying to figure it out and determine which path do they go on their own. I've watched many, many people buy real estate and struggle, as have you. Yeah. We both have. Oh, yeah. We have clients that we currently manage properties for that it just blows my mind that they bought this property because they didn't know what they were doing. They were speaking to the wrong person. They were getting the wrong guidance. They were following a system that wasn't deep enough to give them enough information. I'm the plumber. Yeah. That's it. I'm the jack of all trade.
And why do you bring up, and if anyone has any questions, we're here for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You have a question. Yeah. This was this is Tuesday Tilt Talks. And I wanted to get into breaking out the numbers and determining what properties are good investments. And I'll add some stuff at the end. However, we had some stuff come up this week that I felt was a good opportunity to start sharing. So why we're here. And why do you
even talk about the other guys? Like, why even bring them into the conversation?
Yeah, great question. I think it's just they're very strong at what they do, and it's more letting people know that there's another option.
Yeah, my answer to that would be is it's a frame of reference.
Yeah, totally.
So people may understand more what those groups are up to, and so this is okay. There's that. Or there's this.
Right.
And yeah.
It's funny, like you look at our last free event we did and, we had 50 or 60 people at it. And in Edmonton, we had 100 and something. And when I asked in the room who belong to this group, very few hands go up. When you ask in the room who belongs to this group, very few hands go up. Yeah. And what I've come to realize from doing these free events, I used to do the What's Important Now, the win events for RAIN. And what I've come to realize is there's so many people in this world,
right?
And very few know of anybody,
right?
Of any specific organization.
Yeah.
And you look at someone like Scott McGilvery, for example, who's all over national television. very few people who've come to our events actually know he has a group called Keyspire.
Right.
So, so bringing them up is pretty much my biggest frame of reference for me. I've been around that room for so long. I respect that room. I respect everything they teach. I respect everyone on stage.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's been some people on stage I just haven't got along with. I don't like their message or whatever it is. That's my views of it.
Well, I also think it's like saying that you agree with every professor at a university.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some teachers that I don't like.
Right.
And there's some speakers there's some people that don't like me speak.
Well, it's like going to plumbing school.
Yeah, totally.
I love that it's plumbing.
Why?
I don't know.
I just fixed our sink. Did you not see how quickly I fixed that sink?
After a month.
Went to Home Depot, fixed. Throw some glue.
The sink was unavailable for a month. We digress. But at a trade school, actually, you know what? I took massage therapy in school.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't agree or necessarily jive with everybody's way of doing massage, but I took something from everyone.
Absolutely.
Of them. Yeah, and then I looked at. There was one teacher in particular who I aligned with, and that's how I wanted to be as a massage therapist. So I sort of modeled myself after that person's career path.
Totally. I actually, to be honest, I see a lot of similarities, a lot of alignment with us and Rain. And, I don't know if we'll ever cross paths or if that opportunity is ever there, but there are a lot of alignments.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of ways that we can benefit each other. Will it ever happen? I don't know.
What's like university and college? They're not going to.
U of A and Nate.
They're not competing.
They are, but they are.
Well,
because they are. I don't want to say rivals because that's the wrong word, but they are competing for that student body. However, they're in different industries,
different programs.
So you look at you look at what Rain or Keyspire is offering versus what we're offering, and I keep on going back to the professor versus the plumber.
Yeah.
And they're speaking, their mandate, their business plan is to volume.
Right.
Our business plan is quantity.
Right.
We want smaller numbers, and we want people that want to be told what to do. They want to say, hey, I have a deal. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me? Yeah. Look out for this. Boom. Let's get on a call and let's go.
Yeah.
Without having to worry, there's a cost for that call, or there's a cost for this coaching program. They're going to sell me on this. They're going to push me to that. Those business models run differently.
Right.
And why do I keep on bringing them up? Because in a way, they are a slight view of competition, because we're both looking for a membership. We're both looking for people to come to our groups, period. One is I am not the type of person to say, here's 12 different things.
Pick one.
Yeah, I'm not that person.
No, he's sure not.
I'm the type of person that say, go down this path. This is what's working. Go buy this house. Don't buy this house, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whereas, I'm also not worried what people think.
No, not at all. But those opinions are based on experience.
Correct.
So it's not like you're just opinionated. And I mean, we just got off a call with our marketing guy, and he's giving feedback of stuff. And although it may be hard to hear, Jared's listening to it, and he'll put in corrections. So you're opinionated, but you're also open.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm experienced.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't think I'd say I'm opinionated, but I'm very experienced.
Yeah.
And when someone comes up with a problem, if they're on their third property and they have a tenant issue, chances are, after managing our properties since 2003 and hundreds of them and seeing thousands, maybe tens of thousands of tenants, I've experienced it.
Yeah.
So if I can offer that person advice very quickly, and get them through whatever mud or whatever wall they're facing, and get them over that, great. Let's move on. That is the mandate of Tilt.
Yeah.
That's the mandate of Tilt. We have, our values, which is LOFT, loyalty, ownership, freedom, and truth. And the fourth one of truth is me getting you through that hurdle or through that wall as fast as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time to screw around.
Yeah.
Nor do you want to keep on bumping your head against the same problem, doing the same thing, getting the same results, and then repeating it.
Right.
It makes no sense to me.
No.
That's why we created our group.
Yeah. Understood. Okay. I think it's clear.
So, any other questions? Any questions up there in Facebook land?
It's crazy, really, isn't it? That there's
No,
people
listen.
This is nuts.
When we started out in 2003, Krista, I never would have thought in a million years we would be on Facebook Live. This wasn't even around.
No.
I never thought I'd drop all this money on all this gear to sound good. I never thought we'd be doing Tuesday Tilt Talks. I never thought about having a property management group. Yeah. I never once thought about going off on my own and doing a workshop. Never once.
It's funny because but the underneath piece of this conversation is contribution. And yeah, this is a business, but there is a real big contribution piece to us. And so the point is, when you have experience and expertise in something, there's opportunity to contribute to people. I just came from a neighbor's house, a friend that I play hockey with.
Yeah, Danielle Grundy.
Oh my God. Yeah. We just had such a great conversation. If you don't know about the Grindstone Foundation, check it out. It's an amazing foundation paying for girls in hockey, and her vision and potential of what she'll create in the world with female in sport, not just hockey, is unbelievable. But she doesn't need to be doing that. I don't know, Grundy has how many businesses? Well,
you do it because it's passionate. You have a passion for it. And at the end of the day, we have a real passion. But in saying that, I want to make money at this.
Well,
I'm not doing, as much as we do our events for free, and each event costs maybe $800 to put on plus flight. We're into each event for $1,500. The concept is simple. If I can provide the amazing content and speak the truth every single time, maybe people will use us.
Yeah.
Maybe people will call up my agent, Keith, and say, "Hey, listen, Keith, I want to buy a property through you." Or maybe they will say, "Listen, my risk is less with Tilt Property Management." Or maybe they'll say, "Listen, I want you guys to renovate my house."
Yeah.
That's it. But the only way, Zig Ziglar says, in order to get in life what you want, you have to help enough people get what they want.
Yeah.
And that is something that I've always believed in. Yeah. As soon as I heard it back in 2005, it's resonated with me. And I've seriously lived my whole entire life since I heard that, with that concept, with the understanding, whether it's you, whether it's my kids, whether it's the staff, whether it's clients, tenants, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And, this whole Tilt movement is a movement based on, in order for us to get what we want, we have to give others what they want.
Yeah.
And the easiest platform for us to do that on is through real estate.
We have a question.
Oh, can you read that question?
Do you believe corporate companies...
Krista has a hard time reading. She doesn't have glasses. Hang on.
I'm not 40 yet, though.
Do you believe comparables since 2007 could have changed the hype? So the question was, do I believe that the hype around mortgages could have created some of the hype in real estate, or the issues, the changes in mortgages create some of the hype? Our first house we bought, we had a mortgage rate of 6.5%. And, I believe that there was a little bit of a blurb in November and December of this last year. And then also the year before, when they changed the mortgage rules for the under 20% down. I believe that pushed the market up a little bit. I also believe in November, December, it pushed up the market a little bit, because if you look at all the groups of real estate investing, for example, they were all pushing hard, go buy property now, go buy property now. But at the end of the day, I don't think the new mortgage rules are actually going to impact things all that much. It will a little bit. It'll wean out some of the people that only had the 20% with low paying jobs. But there's other lenders, so now there's lots of B lenders out there that the big banks are saying no, but these other, service banks like ATBs and credit unions are starting to show up, that they'll start getting a little bit friendlier, because they don't necessarily follow Bank of Canada rules. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it goes down to this. I don't really care what mortgage rates are. I don't care if the market's in a recession or if it's in a boom. I don't care if you're in Arizona, or I don't care if you're in Calgary or Edmonton. If you always buy based on principles and buy on a 15, 20-year plan, 20-year plan, you'll always have success, because I truly believe that you cannot make a mistake in real estate.
Right.
I truly, truly believe that. And the only way to prevent a mistake is you have to hold it longer.
And he says that from experience of making
the
mistakes, because in saying that, we have made plenty of mistakes.
We probably have 50 properties that I wish we never bought, and I wish I could sell them. And I tried to sell them 5 years ago. couldn't sell them because of market. So we're just hanging on to them. And now 5 years later, I just got those mortgage statements and I'm like, wow, we now have money in this portfolio.
Right.
Along the way, they've all cash flowed a little bit.
Yeah.
We've placed excellent tenants because we screen the shit out of our tenants. Like, no, I don't think anybody understands the importance and how much we actually spend on screening our tenants.
But we didn't always.
No, I used to rent because I thought they were good. Eric and Rosa.
Eric and Rosa.
Go back to Eric and Rosa, right?
Because we made connection with them.
Totally. They had a cross and she just came from church on a Sunday and I thought she followed God's, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So Eric and Rosa, if you're listening, you owe me $7,000.
I think we can write that.
Yeah, totally. I probably already have. But at the end of the day, if you just buy simply on those buying principles, you'll always have success no matter what market you buy into.
Right.
And that is the impact that I want to have on people.
Absolutely.
That is the training and support we want to give.
Because imagine people being able to have that real estate investing career, we'll call it, or experience without making those mistakes. Like,
listen, the definition of success, and you and I have talked about this lots. The definition of success is not how many millions we have.
No.
The definition of our success it will be defined by how many millions we can make others through a vehicle that we're pretty good at driving, which is called real estate.
Yeah.
And are we perfect at it? No. If someone came out to me and said, listen, I want to buy 18, 15 unit apartment buildings, I'd be like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not your guy. I won't even pretend to be your guy. In fact, we don't even manage apartment buildings.
No.
They're too hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them. I don't like how one person in 15 farts and the person number 2 smells it. I don't like that.
That's
It's a good analogy. Think about that just for a second.
No, I got it.
Just think about that.
I got it as soon as you said it.
It spreads. It's like a weed. And, so I don't like apartment buildings. So there's certain things that I will not go in. But if someone came up to me and said, listen, Jared, I have $150,000. I want to retire and I want to make $5,000 and I have 4 years to do it.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that in 8 months for that person or less.
Yeah. I really wanted an apartment building for a while.
Yeah, totally. And once we got one, we didn't want it no more.
No, but I wanted like a big, fancy, shiny.
Well, you can go have it. You can have my 15
No, but then we did the numbers and the fundamentals.
Doesn't work.
It didn't make sense.
But these are the experiences that we can give to people, and at the end of the day, I'm not for everybody.
No.
And I know that. And, like I say things and you cringe when I say things sometimes. And the point of the story and the point of this podcast or this Facebook Live thing is just to show people that, one, I'm not an asshole. Two, our business tilt is here. We're not going anywhere. And we're just another option. Yeah. Period.
Absolutely.
We might work for you.
Yeah.
We might not.
It's kind of like a pastor.
Oh, yeah? I'm definitely not a pastor.
No, but it's like finding a church. You're not going to resonate with every single church. Yep. The message just doesn't land from certain people.
Totally.
So you're not everybody's pastor.
Totally. So with that said, there's a couple things I do want to leave people with. And that is right now the Alberta market is changing. We're starting to see a shift in employment. You look at what's happening in Ontario. Ontario just laid off something like 50,000 part-time workers because they just raised minimum wage to $14. So there's lots of jobs being created right now in Alberta. Grand Prairie is continuing to buzz. And we've been in Grand Prairie for 15, 16 years. And what happens in Grand Prairie typically trickles into Edmonton 8 months later. And I see that trend starting to happen now. We're starting, we're raising rents in Edmonton on tenant turnover. We're seeing a higher call volume. We're seeing tenants call in and ask for places sight unseen, sending in their applications. We're starting to get applicants or tenants come in to showings with applications on the spot on them right now. The market is changing. Hold true to the fundamentals. Buy always on cash flow, mortgage buy down, and hope to get appreciation over the next 15, 20 years. And always base your rents off the lowest rents in the last 7 years. In saying that, there's a couple trends that are starting to happen. Two-story houses, Northwest Edmonton, West Edmonton are starting to show up that are really, really strong. You can buy those for $375, $390. You're going to rent those things out if they're 3-bedroom with developed basement. Double garage, you're gonna rent those things out for $2,100 to $2,400 a month. And sorry, my kids just got home. So there's some real good, strong opportunities right now showing up in Edmonton. Suited houses are always a big, benefit and a big, hold a sweet spot in my heart because we love those.
Yeah.
There's just a good opportunity right now. And on our next free event in Edmonton is going to be February 20th. It was actually the 21st, and we just moved it to the 20th because there's another event on the 21st. At that event, I have a guy named Darren Richards, who's our lawyer. He's been our lawyer for years, and this guy is amazing. Such an amazing guy. Yeah. He's going to be out talking about agreement for sales. We have done probably 18 to 20 agreement for sales over the years, and Darren has done all but 6 of them for us, and his knowledge is unbelievable. He's going to clean it up a little bit. Him and I have been doing a lot of agreement for sales, so we've come up with a kind of a new way maybe of doing it. Maybe I don't know if it's a new way. It's just our way, I guess.
Interesting.
And I also have a lady by the name of Mona Crandall who is with CIBC. I love Mona. She's getting all of our clients approved. CIBC is extremely friendly with investors right now, so she's going to come out and talk. And then I'm doing 7 mistakes in real estate. We're getting ready for our one-day event, which is going to be the last weekend of May in Edmonton. And so there'll be more information coming out for that in Edmonton. And that's all I got. So thank you for interviewing me. You were great, as always, and you co-hosting is unbelievable. And the way you tone down my my energy maybe, and some of the words I say and rephrase things is greatly appreciated, because without you, I'd probably get into a lot more trouble than I do.
No.
So with that said, I'm Jared Hope. This is Krista Hope with Tilt. This is Tuesday Tilt Talks. Next week, we will, I promise you, dive into numbers, finding the property, sourcing the deal, how to determine what the math is, because as the market starts trending up, we have to be a lot more careful on that stuff. I have a guest speaker who's going to be coming out the week after. And I'm actually lining up a few other speakers, which is crazy exciting as well. So there's some really cool stuff coming down the chute for Tuesday Tilt Talks. Share it, like it, follow us. Chris is also co-hosting a radio show. Make sure you follow that. There'll be a post on our website on that as well. So everybody have a great week, and ask any questions you guys have throughout the week, and we'll answer them. Anything else?
Have a great Valentine's Day.
Oh, it's my birthday. So if anyone wants to send me a message saying happy birthday, by all means, I'll take it.
4-0 tomorrow.
Oh, no, don't say that.
I did say that. I just did. He's just getting so much smarter with his age. Enjoy your relationships tomorrow. It's,
good ending.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Later.